What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be talking about what to do when your rabbit dies. So the first thing you have to do when your rabbit dies is to remove the carcass. Now this step is very important because if you leave the carcass in the cage, it can start decaying and that can contaminate your other the other rabbits or your breeding stock, which is not good. So immediately you see that a rabbit is dead in your farm, immediately you have to remove the carcass from the cage. Next thing you have to do is to check for possible causes. Now there are very simple reasons why the rabbit must have died. Some things like heat stress, maybe you gave the rabbit contaminated water, or maybe sudden feed change can cause a rabbit to die. Now there are other very extreme reasons why a rabbit might have died, which is maybe due to disease infections, and you might have diseases like diarrhea, coccidiosis, or maybe even mange. Next thing you have to do is to dispose of your rabbit properly. There are two ways in which you can dispose of your rabbit properly. Either you bury or burn. Burning is way more effective because it gets rid of the whatever bacteria was in the rabbit prior to his death. Burying, also you have to be very careful when burying the rabbit. You don't need to bury your rabbit close to your breeding stock or close to your rabbit house. Also, don't bury your rabbit near your water source. If you get water from a stream or maybe a spring or a river to feed your rabbits or give your rabbit water to drink, don't bury any dead carcass or any dead rabbit around the water source. It's going to contaminate the water, and hence you bring contaminated water to your rabbit, and it's just going to be a spiral of death all over and over again, which is not good. So you have to take that into consideration. The next thing you have to do is to disinfect the cage properly. Now, in a case where you were rearing your rabbit in a colony style way, you have to make sure that you remove all the rabbits, disinfect the place, and put them back. If it's in a case where that particular rabbit had a cage of its own, you have to disinfect the cage thoroughly before you introduce any new rabbit into that cage. To prevent further deaths in your farm, you have to make sure that the water that you give your rabbits should not be contaminated. You have to give your rabbit very clean water, and you have to give your rabbits water daily. Hydration is very good in your rabbit farm. Your rabbits need to be hydrated. They need to drink a lot of water. Now the next thing is that you need to raise your cages, I think 30 to 60 centimeters above ground level. This will prevent crawling animals like maybe cockroaches, rodents, and maybe even snakes from getting into your rabbit cages or attacking your rabbits. Also, avoid sudden feed changes. That is, if you're feeding your rabbits with pelleted feed and you want to switch to grass or hay, don't just, let's say today you're feeding with pelleted feed and tomorrow you just give hay like that. That can cause digestive stress in your rabbit and can cause your rabbit to die, especially for young rabbits. So the right thing to do is to transition very smoothly. You give a bit of pelleted feed, a bit of hay, a bit of grass, a bit of pelleted feed, a bit of hay, a bit of grass, and at the end, let's say after a week, you just get now. So you just give grass or you just give pelleted feed, depending on which you are giving first. Now the last point is quarantine. Quarantine is very important because rabbits from outside or from other breeders can bring disease into your farm. So you have to be very careful. And if your rabbits have not been, let's say, vaccinated or treated for those diseases before, maybe to gain some form of immunity, you cause your rabbits to be infected and they can easily die because it's something that is new to them. So make sure that before you bring in a new rabbit into your farm, you have created a space where you can quarantine that rabbit and prevent it from infecting your breeding stock. And during the quarantine period, you have to check the rabbit very well, check its ears, check its mouth. Is it eating? Is it active? You also have to deworm the rabbit so it prevents further to deworm the rabbit so that the rabbit doesn't have worms, because worms is also one of the main causes of death in most rabbit farms. So if you have learned something today, consider leaving a like and also subscribe to my channel for more of such videos. Also, don't forget to share this video with other rabbit farmers who can also learn on and also prevent further deaths in their farms. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.